Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel IIBS IAS Academy. This is Rakesh Singh, Assistant Professor at IIBS IAS Academy. I have done my PGDBRM from Manipal University. Since last 6 years, I have been teaching to the UPSC aspirant. In this YouTube channel, we will be discussing about the daily current affairs and the topics which are related to UPSC as well as the other competitive exams. Please do subscribe, like and comment on the below section. Good morning friends, welcome to IIBS IAS Academy. In today's topic, we will discuss about election to the President of India. Then why such topic? As you know, recently the President election has held in United States of America. So in UPSC, there might be a chances that they ask the election procedure of President of India with comparison of election procedure with USA. So today we will discuss how the President of India will be elected. So as we know that in India we have a parliamentary form of government. So in parliamentary form of government, generally we have two types of head. One is called state head and another it is called government head. A state head is also called as nominal head and the government head is also called as real head. So normally state head will be the president and the government head will be the prime minister. So when we talk about the election to the President of India, when the election to the President of India can be held, what are the conditions, what are the circumstances on which the election to the President of India can held? Okay. So whenever President complete the tenure of 5 years. So in India, the tenure of the President is 5 years. So whenever the current President is going to complete the tenure of 5 years, then at that time election will be held. And USA President tenure is 4 years. Then if President resign due to any condition or circumstance, if President want to resign, President can resign and that resignation letter has to give to the Vice President of India. So at that time also vacancy will be occurred in the post of President of India. So at that time also President election will be held. Then apart from that, if President impeachment is nothing but removal of the President. If both the houses of the Parliament initiated the impeachment process and passed the impeachment resolution, then at that time the President will be removed. Then vacancy will occur. So at that time also election has to be held for the post of President. Then apart from that, if President die in his office, at that time also vacancy will be occurred, then election to the President has to be held. Take an example in the year 1969. In the year 1969, when Zakir Hussain, he was the President of India for 2 years. 2 years from 1967 to 1969. He died in the year 1969. So at that time, there was a vacancy in the post of President. So at that time also, election held. Then last, when Supreme Court of India declared the election of President as invalid. So when Supreme Court of India declared the election of President is invalid, at that time the elected President has to resign or Supreme Court will remove the President. So at that time also vacancy will be occurred in the post of President, then election has to be held. So these are the condition, circumstance when the election to the President should be held. We will discuss about what are the qualification. What are the qualification to become the President of India? So first and foremost qualification, that is a person who is contesting the election of President to India, then that person must be a citizen of India. So that person must be citizen of India. Any Indian citizen who got Indian citizenship by naturalization, any person who got Indian citizenship by naturalization, that citizen is also eligible to contest in the election of president. But in case of USA, a person who got USA citizenship by naturalization, then that person is not eligible to contest the election of USA. But in India, there is a possibility. Then next, the person should have minimum age of 35 years. In USA also same, a person must be an age of 35 years. Then third qualification, that is a person should eligible to become the member of Lok Sabha. Remember guys and girls, it is not mandatory that a candidate who is contesting the election of the president must be a member of parliament. Okay, so here the candidate who is contesting the election of president, that candidate must be eligible to become the member of Lok Sabha, that's all. It is not compulsory to be a member of Lok Sabha. Then last qualification, that a person should not hold any office of profit, either in central government, either in state government, or either in local self-government, or either in a public authority. Then what is the meaning of office of profit? Okay, in government. In short, a person should not work in any government institution, okay, or government office where the person is receiving the salary from the government. So that is the meaning of office of profit. So these are the qualification for a person to contest the election of President of India. Nomination. Who can file the nomination? Okay. Before a candidate who want to contest in the election of the president, then the candidate has to file the nomination. Candidate has to file the nomination. So what are the conditions for filing the nomination? First and foremost condition, that candidate must get support. That candidate must get support from 50 electors as proposers and 50 electors as seconders. So whoever, a person who is contesting the election as the president of India, okay, at that time that contestant must get a support of 50 electors as proposers and 50 electors as seconders. Who are electors? Electors are those people who elect the president. We will discuss in the next slide who are electors or who will elect the president of India. But for filing the nomination, it is mandatory for a person to get the support of 50 electors as proposers and 50 electors as seconders. Take an example, a candidate, okay, who is contesting the election of president. So for that candidate, 50 electors should support this candidate for filing the nomination. So those are called proposers. Plus another 50 must support to this candidate as well as to this proposers. So those 50 are called seconders. Okay. So a person who got support from the electors, 50 electors as proposers and 50 electors as seconders, then a person is eligible to file the nomination. Otherwise, he is not eligible to file the nomination for the election to the President of India. So this is very important condition. Then apart from that, while filing the nomination also, a candidate has to make security deposit. Candidate has to make security deposit of 15,000 rupees in RBI bank. 15,000 rupees in RBI bank. And this security deposit is refundable in nature. That means after the election got over, whether that candidate is won or lost, it is immaterial. But after the result declare, then that candidate will receive the security deposit amount. But there is one condition. There is one condition on which this security deposit is non-refundable. Means the person will not get the security deposit even after the result of the election. So what is that condition? The condition is that if a candidate is unable to secure 1/6 of total number of valid vote. Then at that time the candidate will not get the security deposit. Take an example, there are total 100 number of votes. So there are total 100 number of valid votes. So what is the 1/6 of 100? It is nearly 17. So any candidate out of 100 votes, if that candidate is unable to secure even the 17 votes also, so in that case that candidate security deposit will be ceased to be operate. So that is the meaning of that sentence. Okay, or this is the meaning that if the candidate is unable to secure 1/6 of total valid vote, then the security deposit will be not refundable. So these are the condition to file the nomination to the election of president. Then next, electoral college. So what is electoral college and what does it contains? Who constitute electoral college? Remember, President of India will be elected by the member of electoral college. President of India will be elected by the member of electoral college. Then who constitute this electoral college? Election Commission of India will constitute this electoral college during the election time. Okay. Then who are the member of this electoral college? Please remember, this is very important for exam point of view. So who are the member of this electoral college? Elected member of Lok Sabha, elected member of Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha we have nominated member also. In Lok Sabha we have 2 nominated member, Anglo-Indians will be nominated by the president. In Rajya Sabha we have 12 nominated member nominated by the president. So this nominated member will not participate in the president of election. Only the elected member of Lok Sabha as well as the elected member of Rajya Sabha will participate in the election of president. Then recently, by 104 Constitutional Amendment Act, the nomination for 2 Anglo-Indian by the president, that provision was deleted. So by 104 Constitutional Amendment Act, there was a 2-seat reserve for Anglo-Indians and that 2 seat will be filled through nomination by the president. Now we don't have such provisions. So whenever the next election to the president will held, at that time we don't have any nomination member in Lok Sabha. Anyway, nominated member will not participate in the election to the president. Then apart from that, elected member of Legislature Assembly of all states. So at present India is having 28 states. 28 states, different states are having different number of member of Legislature Assembly. So only those MLA or only those member of Legislature Assembly who are elected by the people directly will participate in the election of president. Nominated member of State Legislature Assembly will not participate in the election of president. Then next, only the elected MLA, only the elected member of Legislature Assembly of those union territories which are having legislature. So at present Delhi is having legislature as well as Puducherry is also having legislature. So last president election, in that last president election, the MLA of Delhi as well as the MLA of Puducherry has participated in the election of president. But now the scenario is different. Now Jammu and Kashmir last year in the year 2019, it become union territory and Jammu and Kashmir is also having legislature. So in next president election, even the elected member of Jammu and Kashmir Assembly will also participate in president election. So here also elected MLA of union territory which are having legislature will participate, not nominated MLA. Then Who will not participate in the election of president? Member of legislature council. So member of legislature council, either they are nominated or either they are elected. Both they will not participate in the election of president. So who will participate in the election of president? Elected member of Lok Sabha, elected member of Rajya Sabha, elected member of union territory which are having legislature. Apart from that, elected MLA of all states in India. Then who will not participate? Nominated member of Lok Sabha, nominated member of Rajya Sabha, nominated MLA of all states, nominated MLA of union territory which are having legislature, and nominated and elected member of legislature council will not participate in the election of president. And these people who participate in the election of president, those are the member of electoral college. They are also called as electors. They are also called as electors. And each and every MLA and each and every MP, they have vote value. So it's the MLA as well as the MP, elected MLA and MP who will participate in the election of president. So each MLA and each MP, they have vote value. They have only one vote, but that vote has certain value. How we can get the value of that vote? By this formula. So formula to get the value of MLA vote is total number of population of state. Total number of population of state divided by total number of elected MLA of that state into 1 by 1000. So this is the formula. By using this formula, Election Commission of India will draw the value of each MLA vote, and the population will be taken as 1971 census population while calculating the value of MLA vote in president election. UP MLA is having highest value of vote, that is 208, and Sikkim state is having the lowest value of MLA vote, that is 7. How we calculate the value of MP vote? So there is a formula. What is that? Total value of all MLA vote divided by total number of elected MP. By using this formula, Election Commission of India will draw the value of one MP vote in election president. And at present, the value of one MP vote, it is fixed at 708, whether the member of Rajya Sabha or whether the member of Lok Sabha. Okay, there is no difference between the vote value of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha member in president election. Both they are having same value, that is 708. This is 2018 prelims exam question. So the value of MP vote, it is same for both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha also, and this value 708 is fixed till 2026. This value of one MP vote, that is 708, it is fixed till 2026, and this value of MP vote can be changed. When it can be changed? It can be changed after 2026 census. After 2026 census, that is means after 2031. After 2031, whenever the election of president will held, at that time the value of MP vote will change. So that is about how to get the value of MP vote in election of President of India. So till now we have discussed about what are the circumstance or condition when president election can be held, then what are the qualification for a person to become the President of India, then what are the condition to file the nomination, then we have discussed about electoral college, what is electoral college, who constitute electoral college, who are the member of electoral college, who participate in president election, who does not participate in president election. Now we will discuss about the method of election to the President of India. What is that method? That method, it is called proportional representation by single transferable vote. So method to the election of President of India is proportional representation by single transferable vote. So this method, our constitutional makers has drawn this method from Irish constitution, Ireland constitution. So the method to the election of president, our constitutional makers has drawn from Irish constitution. So what is that method? Under this method, each and every electors, then who are the electors? Member of electoral college. So each and every electors will get one ballot paper. They will get one ballot paper. So we have two types of ballot paper. Green ballot paper, it is for MP. Pink ballot paper, it is for MLA. Green, it is for MP. Pink ballot paper, it is for MLA. So we have different ballot paper for MP and different ballot paper for MLA. So each and every elector will get a different ballot paper. Okay. So here, whenever an elector will get a ballot paper, under that ballot paper, name of the candidate, the name of the party which candidate belongs, and preference column will be provided. So voter, while casting their vote to the election of president, they need to give preference to their candidate. Take an example. So here we can see this is a ballot paper. Here we have name of the party, here we have name of the candidate, and here there is a preference column. So each and every elector has to give preference to their candidate, like first preference, second preference, third preference, or fourth preference. Then after the voting has done, then counting will start. For declaration of winner in President of India election, a candidate must secure the quota. How we can get quota? So total number of valid votes, the formula for quota is total number of valid votes divided by 1 plus 1, this whole plus 1. So this is the formula to draw on the quota. So take an example, if there are total number of votes are 100, then 100 divided by 2 plus 1, which comes approximately 51. So any candidate who has to be declared as a winner of the president of election, then that candidate must secure the 51 first preference vote. 51 first preference vote. So what happened if none of the candidate got the quota in the first list? Okay, then what will happen? Then at that time again second list will be counted. Okay, under that second list what will happen? Any candidate who got the least number of preference, any candidate who got the least number of first preference, then that candidate will be removed from this list. Okay, then again the electors who gave their first preference to the candidate who removed in the first list, then Election Commission of India will ask those electors to transfer their vote to another candidate or transfer their preference to another candidate. So in second list again when electors started transferring their vote to the another candidate, at that time in second list also, if a candidate secure the quota, then the candidate will declare as the winner of election to the President of India. So till now there was only one president, that was called V.V. Giri. V.V. Giri was the only president who was elected as the President of India in second counting. Rest all president, they have won in first list only. So it was only V.V. Giri who has elected as the President of India in second list. So this is about the election method to the President of India. Thank you all. In next class, we'll discuss another current affair topic. So please do like and share our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press bell icon for more updates. Thank you.